Alright, so Phantom Knights is a deck. Um, we just got some great support, and we're just gonna talk about why, or if it's meta relevant, and how you should play it, and also how it plays. Yeah. Okay, so is it a good deck? No, but we have hope because it's a cool deck. Okay, and it has a lot of potential for the future. It's just not amazing in the current format because it's a hand trap style deck, and we're currently in like a lot of breakers. But there are ways to play it right now that are still good. Like I'm being able to beat Cool Tune consistently, and being able to beat like, I mean, as consistent as you can get against Cool Tune because it's Cool Tune. But other decks, like you can genuinely put up strong boards going first. You can stop a lot of interaction. You can break boards. Like I broke Cool Tune going second. Like with like I had one hand trap and like 4 engine, and then they topped like a second normal summon, and I still broke the board. Like it's still like doable because this deck actually has a lot of potential if you play it correctly. Okay, so we'll go to the actual support. These are all the cards we got. This is still coming, the Xyz Dragon, but for now we'll talk about the rest. So Cloak, the new Cloak, is an incredible extender. It can summon itself by revealing another PK in hand. Another D Phantom Knight specifically, not just Phantom Knights, which I dislike a lot because that means you can't reveal a trap, like the Fogblade and Wing. But yeah, it summons itself for free, gets a free search on summon, so it's really strong. Um, Ray is basically just a Terror Top, except it sets Umbrage Veil from deck or Requiem if you need it. And then in Grave, I forgot to mention, Cloak can banish itself from Grave to make an Xyz be treated with a level. So make a rank 3 into a level 3 for an Xyz summon. Doom Solare can increase the level or rank of any 2 monsters in the field that you control. Dark Xyz, or Dark monsters, yeah. Requiem is a Reborn, and also a mandatory rank up into with the Dark Xyz monster into the Phantom Knights or Xyz Dragon. So you can use it to make the whole point of it is to make Requiem, but you can make other monsters as well. Raider's Knight. Well, eventually when Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon with the 4 Heavenly Dragons comes, we can make that. Umbrage Veil is incredibly overlooked at this point. It is so good. It's not just it's not a free body because it just summons itself for free. It's also an interaction if you play it correctly on the opponent's turn. Scythe, summon from deck. It's a really good Xyz monster that lets you access the PK engine with two level 3 darks. And it also lets you search a rank up magic when you Xyz summon a Dark Rebellion. Then we just got the TG exclusive Shaman Knight, which is going to be, it's like a Levier except dark and warrior, so you can play under your lock, and it gets you reborn from graveyard or banishment, and lets you bridge engines like Orcust, which I think is most fun. It changed the entire deck, like potential, like it changed so much for the deck. Because I was trying to find so many lines of how to like banish so I could make Levier before I lock Dark. I think Coach knows this, but I was trying to make SP or like Haggard banish something. Go into go into Levier and reborn the banish card for the Orcust, and it was so difficult to do with like a 1 card, and even 2 cards were just difficult to do as well. So this card is a godsend. It's exactly what we needed. And it also gives you a billion follow-up because it gets you back your traps and banishment. And you detach them to put them into the grave and recycle them over and over. You can also reborn it off of Requiem. I should probably talk about Requiem. It's not pictured here. Requiem is Appaloosa, but not once per chain, not once per turn, 3 times, and also every time you destroy with the negate effect, because it negates and destroys, you get to reborn a Dark Xyz from grave. So you can bring back Shaman Knight, and then when you banish a trap, trigger your Shaman Knight, you get so many interactions off of just Requiem, because you get a bunch of reborns, a bunch of effects, and it becomes very layered and difficult to break the board. Okay. I won't talk about the Xyz Dragon right now because it's not relevant, but it's just quick Xyz on the opponent's turn. and also a pop on summon, but it depends how you play it. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just gonna go over the core. Right now, this is the core that for the pure build that you would be looking at. There's I think there's 8. So okay, every garnet, quote unquote garnet, is actually not a garnet because they're also extenders if you draw them. Like Fogblade, Wing, all those, like they feel like bricks, which they can be bricks if you open a bad hand and don't draw a single extender or anything. You would probably need more pushes. Yeah, but that's how the deck is right now. You can combat this by running like a different sub engine, which I will go through many. For example, you can even do a really small one like Muckraker, or not Muckraker, sorry, Tour Guide from the Underworld. Summon itself from deck, overlay 2 Dark 3s into the Scythe, and get comboing. Yeah, so this entire deck is just put 2 3s on board, and you can like do stuff. That's yeah. From there, what else? You'll end on. Yeah, I'll go through lines later, but this deck has a lot of what's it called? Follow up, because you'll get Torrent Scales to come back, because Torrent Scales has an effect. I should go through the old PK cards, huh? In case people aren't aware of everything. Okay. Silent Boots summons itself from hand if you control a PK, and then it can banish itself from grave to add a PK spell trap. Ancient Cloak does nothing in hand. On field, it's just an attack boost, but in grave, it's a search any the Phantom Knights card. Ragged Gloves is the bane of my existence because I always draw it, and then my way to discard it gets stopped and it gets stuck in hand. But basically, it can turn into any PK card if you banish it from grave and send that to grave. So yeah, just send in foolish anything pretty much if it's in grave. So that comes up a lot because you can send traps off of it. And the only other way to get your traps to grave is off of Torrent Scales. So there have been many times where that comes up. I really hate running it because it doesn't feel like you should run it. Because there's a lot of times where it doesn't come up and you're like, oh, I have enough material to do things. I don't need to use the effect to send again when I'm already foolishing something to grave. But yeah, it unfortunately does come up for lines, so it's a required brick. But it is also a pseudo extender, like I said earlier, because you can, if you discard it, like any, technically 2-card combos with your list because of Torrent Scales. So Torrent Scales is also technically a starter. I don't like it as a starter. I feel like it's very weak, and it loses to hand drafts easily because it requires a discard to discard a card to foolish from deck. And I'd rather do that after I establish a board so I can play through things. It also has an effect to reborn itself from grave if you banish a PK card. Let's see. I went through Solaray and Cloak already. I went through Requiem. Oh, okay. So rank up magic launch. There's 2 rank up spells. I was testing both. In this list, you can see that it's currently in main, but I've gone back and forth a lot. Rank up magic launch requires your Xyz monster to have no materials on it in order to rank up, which is fine because you can, like I said earlier, Requiem lets you make Dark Requiem Xyz Dragon, which is pretty much the de facto boss monster of the deck. Which in it itself lets you reborn a bunch of Xyz monsters from the grave as well. Plus, you can also reborn them off of Requiem itself because you get a reborn and an Xyz. Wing and Fogblade are the 2 traps. Wing is honestly such a good card. So this format's filled with destruction like the Fallen Virtuous, etc. Whatever. And that's really annoying because Requiem has 0 protection on it. So you gotta defend it. So Wing can just save it from 1 destruction per turn. And then you can banish it from grave to reborn. So the on-field effect is not that bad, and it's a good pseudo extender, plus it's a good combo piece. Fogblade, we run 2 in this variant because it's pure and you need more engine and more grind. So Fogblade just gets you a reborn, and by banishing itself from grave, target a Phantom Knight, reborn it in grave. Also on field, it's basically an imperm, technically. It's just a monster negate, and it's a permanent monster negate too, but it stays on the field. There are lines where you set it from deck with Bardiche, and then you pop it, or other ways to do that, I guess. Yeah. Um, I already talked about Requiem, Arc Rebellion, the goat, absolutely slam boards. Like I made an 18,000 attack one against like KT the other day. It's such a good boss monster to break boards with, because the opponent has to always like believe you're threatening it, because you can't always threaten it. Yes, Arc is the goat, bro. Yeah, actually, those two carry the deck, Requiem and Arc Rebellion. Like they're so strong. Um, he's also immune to destruction. He negates everything and then swings and kills your opponent in one shot. Let's see. You have to play the OG Dark Rebellion because you need to rank up into Dark Requiem, because it requires Dark Rebellion to be under it to use its effects. Um, let's see. Gaga Magician. So that's a flex spot. It's just a reborn from grave. Not much else there. You can do some like lines under like nib or whatever. There's some wacky lines. I didn't have them recorded beforehand, but yeah. Let's see. Raiders Knights. Raiders Knight is a very important combo piece, and also your way to get to Arc Rebellion without needing to make 3 5s, because that's like impossible. Usually, unless KT boosts your levels, and that's very funny. Because I did that against KT the other day, and they were like, "Oh, yeah, that's yeah." So Raiders Knight lets you rank up or down one level from level rank 4, and its materials are just 2 level 4s, so you can make it very easily. Evil Floor Nightmare is just another. For now, it's like a fill-in spot because you're gonna put what's it called? The Heavenly Dragon, Dark Rebellion one, in that slot. You probably switch Gaga Magician out for like Ophion or something like that, because you need a flood in modern Yu-Gi-Oh, I guess. I much prefer playing without Ophion, honestly, because the deck feels way more fun to play. Like without just saying I summon Ophion, you lose. But yeah, you gotta run the flood. Let's see. Breaksword. Breaksword is so good for just cooking boards. Like, um, I mean, there's not much to say. You summon it, you remove interaction, and then if they try and out it, they might pop it. If they pop it, you get reborns. Like, you can play 2 to threaten stuff. Technically, it's a flex to play 2. You don't need to. Same for Malevolent Scythe, which is the extender. Like I said, or sorry, the main combo piece of the deck. Like I said earlier. You don't technically need to. You just play them in pure because you have space and you'd like more grind. Shaman Knight is so good. Godsend, Reborn, get the trap back. Perfect card. Bardache. Link 3, it can't be linked off, so that's unfortunate. If it could, the deck could be insane, because you could make that new Link 5 foolish anything. You can do whatever you want, but yeah, Konami is being fair here, and of course Bardache cannot be linked off, but it's still very good. It's interaction, because if you summon an Xyz under it, a Dark Xyz, which you can do on your opponent's turn through like the Trap, Unbridged Veil, or Reborn with Fogblade or Wing. If you just summon underneath it, it'll pop a card. One time per turn, thankfully. Otherwise, that'd be a little insane. And then also it lets you extend because it foolishes and sets from deck. So you can get to either of your rank up spells. You can get to any of your traps you need. You can convert from engine to engine because its materials are just 3 darks, so that's nice. Or sorry, 2+ darks. And then obviously we've got SP because SP is SP. Everyone knows that. IP because you have extra bodies left over and you can get a lot of bodies in the opponent's turn. You can link them off into IP, get something immune to destruction. It's pretty nice interaction to get for your remaining bodies. And Shirabini is an incredible engine piece, foolish from deck, send for cost. Not much else to say there. 2 level 3s turns into send anything. That's the main core. The pure version has so much space for non-engine. I like it a lot. I just don't think it's consistent enough as pure for it to be the best. You could throw in, like I said, tour guide from the Underworld. That's very nice. Get more bodies. More starters is better here because the deck likes to push and grind, and Once it reaches its engine, it's hard to like stop it from interacting fully, because even on the following turns, it'll get more. Yeah, so this is a pure build. I enjoy it. I don't know if it's that great right now. I wouldn't play this personally. If I went to like an event, I wouldn't play this like for like that fun, because there's always a better version, and we'll move to that right now.
Wait.
Any questions about pure?
Yes, I was gonna ask a bunch of questions actually. Like literally, I was gonna
Yeah,
ask.
yeah.
I guess my first question is, I guess you mentioned consistency. Just generally, how
Mm-hmm.
consistent is, without additional engines, how consistent is the deck?
So this list technically, okay, so this list doesn't have the screenshot of my muckracker, or sorry, tour guide. I keep calling it muckracker. Um, it technically the only starters are cloak, what's it called? Torrent scales, Solaray, and then foolish Rhoda. This is like 11. It's not that much. But then you have extenders, as in the pretty much everything else, like boots, umbrage veil, right? This is fairly inconsistent, so I would. Anyone just slim down the extra deck? I'll answer that in a sec. Tour guide would be the main way to increase the starters. That's what I would go with. So I'd probably put it at 14 with tour guide, and then you could also. I think you have to run it with another engine. Like, I think the best one that's the most minimal that also lets you get to engine is what's it called? Raiding Typhoon, because you get 2 3s, and then actually you get 3 3s technically. You get an extra card in hand. But you get 2 3s, make Cherubini, Foolish, and you get combo. The issue is it's not that good into boards, and I don't like opening too much engine, right? Um, so yeah, I'd probably play that. That's the closest to pure you could get with another engine. So you have consistency. But the pure build itself, without extra stuff, is not that consistent, which is I feel like is the main downfall. Yeah. If there's a way to slim down the extra deck, yeah, you could. I mean, this is the best one I could make. Best 15 cards I could like come up with, but you could all the links are mandatory. Shaman Knight's mandatory. You could do one scythe, you could do one breaksword, and uh, depending on the list, you could cut Nightmare. You don't technically need it. It's just an extra option for rank 4s. Galligan Magician is nice to have in a lot of scenarios for reborns, but you don't need it technically. So there's like 4 slots you could cut. The rest of it, like you need Dark Rebellion for all your entire game plan. You need everything else. Yeah. Um, Anything else?
My second question
Mm-hmm.
is the core engine, how is the core engine good when going second?
Um, so it's very strong against. Okay. So the fact that the PKs all do stuff when they're engraved. Yeah, no problem, man. The PKs all do stuff engrave, lets you like push through boards because they negate something and you have another effect engrave to activate. Plus they all 2 card combo, like I was saying. Like Cloak can summon itself for free. So can Boots. So can Solaray. The only one that you don't want to draw going second that much is Torrent Scales, but you need to because he's like engine. Yeah. So the pure build again, I think the pure is lacking because it lacks like the amount of engine you need to push through interaction. Though it has more non-engine space. So it's good at pushing. It's not the best at pushing. There's definitely better builds for pushing into things, which I will go over in the next one. Yeah.
All right, then
Any other
that's it.
questions?
That's it for me then.
All right. All right. We'll move to the next one. This is what I believe is the best one. This is the Orcust build. So Shaman Knight changed this build so much. It's incredible. It used to be you draw Orcust card, or you're either playing normal PK with Nor Orcust if you draw all PK engine, or if you draw Orcust, you get your good board. Now with Cherubini Send symbol, you can reborn it with Shaman Knight, and that changes so much. Earlier you had to do some weird route where you go like SP, target your own symbol, grave, banish it, go Levier if you can, and then you lose out on like your normal PK board, so it's like not even worth it. But now you just get it as part of your board, and your normal PK 1 card board has like 7 interactions minimum and like a bunch of graveyard stuff. So I'll go through the list now. You can see in this list. This is a list I just took a screenshot of. It's not perfect. I probably cut the Turgants actually and put it in Harpor as another normal summon because I wanted more consistency. These slots were non-engine earlier. They were the Bestials because I was having hard time versus KT and I wanted like was it KT? I don't remember what I was doing. I thought I had a reason that I thought Bestials were good and I was trying them and they were working out, but I wanted more space, so I threw Bestials into side, Turgot into main, um, and the other I forgot to mention this earlier. The other good thing of Tour Guide is you have this FTK package. This is I actually got this from one of the tops at a was it the YC? I don't remember what it was. It was an event. They would just summon. They would send Fiendish Rhino Warrior from deck to grave with Cherubini. Then I would send one of the other ones who just make Muckracker and reborn them. Sorry, I'm back. Okay. Yeah, so you would just get an FTK off because a lot of decks can't play through those things. You can either negate quick play spells, negate effects that activate or target the grave, or stop everything except darks from being summoned. So that kind of cooks KT, cooks a lot of other decks. Hi Dino, my goat. Okay. Also you can ignore the sides on these mostly, except for that like 5-card package because they're just stuff I was testing. Okay, so this list feels way more consistent and way more powerful. I'm opting to play the bigger version of the package because I've seen lists where you don't play the field spell and you don't play like the Link 4, you just play like the Link 2 into the counter trap, which is fine. I just think that the board becomes impossible to break if you play the field spell because you get way more interaction. So to start off, I feel like Girsu is the best normal summon in the game besides like best overall. He is so good right now. You can play through a billion hand traps with just Girsu. He has the effect to foolish the Harpor, and then Harpor will get you another Girsu. You can have 2/4s, make Raider's Knight, and you have a full combo. But not only that, you also get to summon a token. You can use that token to link to the Orcust Link 1. If they try and stop your like summon from deck with Harpor, so you can't make the rank 4, you can just make Bardache, and you still get your Orcust board like with the counter trap, and you get a billion points of interaction still. So it's a very nice playing through hand traps with it. Even if they like negate a bunch of things, you still have extenders in the deck like very easily. The only thing is it has a little bit of anti-synergy with Sol Array because Girsu's effect to put a token doesn't work if there's more monsters on board with him, and Sol Array needs to have nothing on board to summon itself. So there's a little bit of anti-synergy, but it's not that bad because you can actually go summon Sol Array into a board, set the trap, summon like Breaksword, and threaten something, or summon Scythe, and then like start trying to play. If they like out your board, then you could just go normal summon Girsu and punish it. So that's nice. And with good hands, this can beat so many hand traps. Like, yeah, I think I played through 4 with Girsu and was it Sol Array? I don't remember. You can also summon Sol Array, set the Phantom Knight Umbrage Veil. Normal summon Girsu, start comboing. If they just start interacting with you, you just you have plays anyway. So yeah, deck is really strong. The end board gets you counter trap. The 1-card Girsu, I'll show the 1-card Girsu combo later because that's the one I really wanted to show off because that's the one I feel like is the best thing the deck can do. Yeah, Orcust just makes the board unbreakable with the counter trap. The counter trap reads absurd, banish, and also negate. Insane. World Crown is a necessary garnet. I didn't run it earlier. Yeah, unfortunately it's necessary because if they hand trap your Girsu really hard, you have to search World Crown off of the Link 1, and then you can make a Link 2, then you can make reborn the Link 1 from grave, and then you can make it into a Bardache and get full combo still. So you do need it to play through things. Let's see. For siding patterns, I like siding out the field spell and the counter trap, so that's nice. Like, because otherwise this deck has a hard time siding because you need a lot of the garnets even going second. Um, so it's really nice for those as well. Symbol is the bridge, like I said earlier, and it's on the screen. Um, the PK stuff is the same, except I cut Torn Scales to 1 because I don't want too many normal summons in this deck. Like, I mean, you technically need more, but Torn Scales requires a discard, and I feel like that hurts a lot. Um, he's also not a very good one card in this list because of the way you can't really get to the Orcust stuff because you need all the foolishes with Cherubini and stuff. So yeah, he's not the best normal summon. I like him at 1. You could run 2, 2 is fine. Same for boots. I just don't want to fill up the engine so much without proper 1 cards. I like boots at 1 because I don't ever really want to see him, but if I see him, he's fine, and I need him, so he's there. He's required. Um, so fucking Ragged Gloves is still here. He's still required. We don't like him, but he's here. Same Ancient Cloak, same ratios for everything else, except 1 Fogblade. You don't need 2 in this because you get 1 for deck, and you don't even need to get 1. You don't even need it. I usually like setting Wing to protect Requiem instead of getting Fogblade, if I can. Sometimes you just need to send Wing though, but Wing is stronger in my opinion, honestly, because Requiem just needs the protection that bad. And if you get like you can set up Dingirsu to protect Requiem and Wing, and also have the counter trap, so they're not outing your Requiem. It's very strong. And then non-engine, yeah, that's kind of the list. The extra deck, where the only changes are those 4 flex boss that we talked about, except Nightmare. What did I switch out for? Oh, IP. Oh yeah, I forgot. Technically, IP is a flex spot. In Pure, I wouldn't call it a flex spot because I feel like you need it for the last interaction pieces, and I feel like you got to run that. But IP is technically a flex spot, and because of this list links off a lot of bodies, you don't really need to have extra bodies for IP, so you don't need to worry about that. Let's see. I feel like yeah. So the extra deck is the same except. Damn. Okay. The link 4 isn't mandatory. Like I said, this is a smaller version where you take out the field spell and you don't run the link 4 or gear. But I think you definitely should run Dingirsu, even if you don't run any of that, because the best synergy, the funniest synergy in this deck to me, and the greatest part of it, is that Umbrage Veil is quick exceeds on the opponent's turn, and you can make Dingirsu with the link 2 or link 4 on the opponent's turn and send a card. And I love that so much because they're like trying to pop your board. They're trying to out things, and you have the link 4. You've already used it. They think you're out of interaction, and you don't have bodies for Umbrage Veil. So they're like, okay, I'm gonna try and pop your Requiem or try and pop something on your board. I'm gonna use a breaker. You go chain chain trap and grave, overlay into Ningirsu, and then in the chain you can just protect, and it's really strong. And then you can get also ascend if you need to. So that's very nice. It's also an incredibly layered board, as you get like multiple back row. Like you usually end on Wing, counter trap, link 4, Bardache, Requiem. You can reward the link 1 of the opponent's turn, quick effect, because it's of the field spell. Yeah. I've never summoned Nightmare, I think, in this list. I've just never needed it, but it's theoretically needed again, so yeah. This list will probably change a bit. I haven't updated this for when we get the Heavenly Dragon, because it used to look like when I was testing it, because I thought Heavenly Dragon was going to come out soon, which it hasn't. It was in the place of Shamanite and the Nightmare, but now that we need Shamanite, because Shamanite got printed, there's only really one major flex spot, so I probably have to cut the link 4 to run the Heavenly Dragon. I'll have to figure something out, but yeah. Yeah. still running the FTK package on the side. That should be there for most of them, even though it's not in there in the lists. Okay, any questions? Oh.
I have no questions. This is toxic, though.
That's fair. Let's see.
Or I guess how much more? I mean, this is you said the former. You said the pure
I hate the
build.
FTK
You said
package,
you
to be
said the
honest. But yeah.
you said the pure build's 11 starters. This is more like
This is
14, 13ish.
Yeah, I think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Symbol. All the Orcust cards are technically starters, the 6, and then Solar Ray, Torrent Scales, Reinforcement, full. What's a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It's like 16 starters more or less. The tour guide is just 2 blank starters. Like you could put 2 harp horrors, it would be the same. The reason it's tour guides is because tour guides gets the Fiend Runner Warrior, so you don't have to foolish it in post side, so that's funny, and it lets you push through hand traps. So I think that's it. Yeah, the HK package is very toxic. I mean, please ban it. Then I don't have to run it. I could run because this is like I'm showing you the best thing you could run. Like this is the best side thing you could run in this deck because the deck can output a level 3 like Foolish, and what can you do with that? FTK. If they get rid of this, I would probably run another rank up in the side. I don't know if I. It's difficult because the searches. So in the normal variant, when you open just PK, because you don't have another engine to bridge to, you can get double rank ups, so you can do a lot of stuff there. In this, I don't know if you'd actually even want to go for the second one. You'd rather just use Cherubini to get like Orcust and get your Orcust board up. So I probably wouldn't even run the FTK package. I'd just probably find something else to fit in the side. But because we can, here it is. Yeah. All 3 of those FTK pseudo fiend dumbass cards should be banned. But you can take Konami. Yeah. Anything else?
That's all I got.
Okay. Okay. This is Toons. This is one of like 3 or so Toon lists with different ratios that I have and different amounts of things. You can see Staingreaves is in here. He was just being tested. He's in a lot of the lists actually, because I was testing like the best combos I could output, like in other variants. I'll explain Staingreaves real quick. He literally just summons. He's like a Boots, except he summons himself on trigger if a PK is summoned. So you can like if you have Ancient Cloak and Torrent Scales engrave, banish Ancient Cloak, search Greaves. Torrent Scales New Chain activates to summon, then New Chain Staingreaves to summon, and then Staingreaves has an effect engrave where he can banish himself to summon a PK from hand. So that can unbrick you sometimes, depending on the hand. It's a little wacky, but yeah. This is a list that has the Heavenly Dragon because this list hasn't also released. So I was hoping that maybe they would release that sometime soon, but no word from Konami. So please bring me my Heavenly Dragon. Okay. Funny Dark Rabbit. This was a mistake. Whoever printed this at Konami, you messed up big time. You should probably be fired. Who did that? Who did that? I don't know. So this beats Valor, Imperm. It beats a lot of things. It beats Nib automatically. Oh, I forgot to mention Nib for the other variants. Orcust is weaker to Nib technically than regular PK because of the lines, but it should be the same regardless. once you get nibbed in PK, you just play through it. So it would cut off the Orcust engine if you were playing Orcust tunes, because you would need Cherubini, and now you won't have access to it. So your Orcust engine will be cut off, but you'd still make the PK board. Um, you play fine under nib mostly, for the most part. You can also go for early. There's like certain lines. I don't have them all prepared, but there's lines you can go to set up early Dark Requiem or yeah, whatever you want in order to beat Nib. That's not that great, to be honest. I'd rather just play through it. Um, Nib is also not great this format anyway, so there's not really, you don't have to worry that much about it. Let's see. Yeah, so Mind Scam is a card that was printed, and ah, yeah, the rabbit is very interesting card design. I'll say that. Don't ask why they did that. I don't know. Yeah, so the reason you see Comic Cat is 1-for-1, and also he's interaction. So with Shaman, it's actually easier. But basically earlier, also this should be the other rank of magic in the list, just to note, because of certain lines with tunes. I prefer the other one in this list. Because this one requires no materials on that monster, and the other one doesn't. But the other one is a little weaker because what does it do again? I forget. I forget why. It's weaker. But yeah, it is. Anyway, let's go over the cards. Field spell is and I assume most people know what the cards do, but I'll just go through them briefly. Field spell gets you Dark Rabbit. Dark Rabbit, while he's on the board, gets you the field spell, and also field spell can get you into Mind Scan by adding Faceless Mage. And during all of this, if they try and target your Dark Rabbit, you can banish it and then can bring it back. You can also just do that normally and then trigger Dark Rabbit again. It's just really out of hand. It's pretty ridiculous. It beats so many hand traps. The only thing that they can do is stop the very first one before you get both copies. Like if you have Field Spell and Rabbit on the field, it's unstoppable. So yeah, Comic Cat is nice because it tributes from your field from either field to summon from deck. So what you can do is this list actually is not the greatest. I think this is the wrong ratios, but basically I was running 3 Dark Rabbit, so you could go on the end board. What you would do is you would bring back Comic Cat, so you would have your Mind Scan for the next turn, and then Comic Cat would tribute from the opponent's field to summon from deck, so you'd get more interaction for free for no reason at all. You don't have to do that. You could just run Dark Rabbit and be done with it. But yeah. So yeah, those are the starters for the Toon engine. Mind Scan is an Omni. Also looks at the opponent's hand and set cards at all times, which is absurd. Oh, you also notice Spark is in this list and not in the others. The non-engine is just miscellaneous. I personally don't think Spark. I think Spark is very overrated, but it would be in other lists. I just was testing other stuff. So you can just pretend it's just miscellaneous blank cards for non-engine that are in everything. This list is a little bigger than the other ones because you need to have more engine, but like in order to fit the Toon engine. But I feel like I still wanted the higher non-engine count, so yeah. There's also like I have a 45 list where you add like Toon bookmark. You can add more Toon starters because there's a billion Toon like 1 cards. So the potential for that is insane. With Shamanite, the list becomes even better. Mind Scan stops Nib, and you get to play through like you get to see your hand. That's just insane. You can run Terraforming in here as well. You can run Set Rotation. No, you can't. There was a list where I had 2 engines with field spells, and I think I had Set Rotation in there. But regardless, yeah, you have you have a billion starters. This list. The best part of this is that it's not technically playing without normal summon, but it's like it's almost like you start the field spell, they have to stop it, otherwise you get to your board and they can't do anything about it. So like it's almost playing without normal summon because you activate the field spell and they don't let it through. It's you haven't committed anything yet. So, um, uh, the basic like I won't go through the actual line, but what you do is you go field spell add rabbit, normal rabbit, rabbit add rabbit plays field spell like add another like you just do that, make 2 level 4s with Raider's Knight, and you're good to go. You just rank down into the Malevolent Scythe and you're full combo. The FTK package would be inside if this was the correct list. The only downside is that you have to play Faceless Mage and Mind Scan, which is annoying for bricks because they don't grind that much and they're not that good second. Mind Scan isn't that bad to draw though because you can place it from hand too for some reason. That's nice, I guess. So it's not the worst thing to draw, but you already had a lot of like cards you didn't really want to see, so yeah. The board for this is insane, like I said. I'm gonna rewrite my question. Is there any way to bridge into tunes? I don't think so. Not like this. That's the issue, and that's what I was about to say actually. The thing is, Cherubini sends a 3, and we don't have 3s and tunes that like do things, so it's quite annoying. I can't find a bridge. I have looked. For every single one of these lists that you will see, I have looked for bridges so much, and I could not find anything. So I just ended up trying to find as many starters as I could for that engine, so you can maximize drawing it. But yeah, what else? I was saying something else. I think I was talking about the flexes and the extra. You don't need a lot of the things. Like you don't need two Raiders Knight. I just think it's nice because you need to use it to make Rabbit into combo. If about bridging to tunes, if there's a way, this foolish comic cat, we can bridge it, but you would have to make like the link 5 that it's really difficult. You have to make that link 5 and then foolish it and then still have 2 3s to make Shamanite and then go Shamanite, attach trap, and then Shamanite detach just the trap. You'd lose out on the materials underneath Shamanite too, because you'd have to link off Shamanite again. It just feels like a mess, like doing all that, and it would also be very weak because you'd have to bridge into tunes from PKs, and I feel like PKs doesn't have like enough like body generation to do all of those things and then also do the normal board, which I feel like is the strongest part of the deck. So yeah, I wouldn't do that. Yeah. Technically possible, yes. Well, it technically, yeah, yeah. That's pretty accurate because you would need to make the link 5. That whatever it's called, I don't remember what it's called. It's the one that came out in
Zena.
Chaos Origins. Yeah, Zena. Yeah, that it's possible. You could technically bridge into any of the engines that have a starter under level 3. This works because you have Comic Cat, because Shamanite's just level 1, 2, 3, because you detach one for each level. So, oh god, if they unban Curious, there's technically potential. I might think about that. That would be very funny. But also, if they unban Curious, I feel like there's definitely worse things you could do than just bridging to tunes. I feel like you could do some worse things, like the FTK engine. I'd rather just play. Yeah.
I was gonna ask if you could compare this build versus the Orcust build, like the build of history versus the build of tomorrow.
Yes. I have always said Toon is the best one. I might switch to Orcust being the best. Orcust was the one I liked the most. I find it more fun than Toons, but the thing with Orcust was before it wasn't able to bridge before, so it was just 2 engines that made boards, and you had to pick which one was better. now that Orcust can bridge, I feel like it just makes the PK combo so much better. And there's more synergy because Orcust can discard, and you have a bunch of cards that you like discarding. What about? Oh my god. Hmm. I want to say no. I feel like that would be hell. But anyway, back to PK Orcust and PK Toon. I would probably play Orcust over Toon. Um. Uh, oh, sure. I believe it or not, I tested that. I did test that. It was horrible, but I tested it. I literally tested everything. We're going to go into PK Invoked, PK Doomsy, PK Mitsu, PK. Like, there's a lot of stuff, bro. Yeah, yeah, that's true.
I guess it, like, before you move on, do you
Yeah.
think that just PK is like a really just good shell that's just like, yeah, you can
Yes.
synergize with a lot of different archetypes?
I would agree. Yes, it's the fact that you can do 2 level 4s or 2 level 3 darks, like either way, 2 level 4 darks, 2 level 3 darks to get to PK, and then also PK generates a lot of advantage, and also has like it's just such a like very synergistical like synergistically designed deck. Like there's a lot of potential because a lot of the stuff is generic, but it's not like so generic that you could just throw slop in. That like if you like carefully look at it, you can make very crazy stuff with other decks if they're designed properly. Yeah, mostly dark things, obviously. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions about Toon?
Also, yo, Sunny, he here.
Mm-hmm. Sunny is here. Technically, anything that's used on mute. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yes. Glad to have you here. Okay. Are we good to go to
Yeah,
the next one?
shoot.
All right. Oh, okay. I think there was more screenshots here, but I can explain them all anyway, even if you don't look at them. Let's see. All right, so it's a lot of variants, a lot and a lot and a lot. You could fit anything realistically if you put 2 3s on board. Like anything that takes 2 3s to like get to, or that can put 2 dark 3s or 2 dark 4s. So Feedsmith, you can make Mellow Melody the Brass Gin, with 2 3s, and then make it like a Caesar thing, and then like do other stuff. And because the Dark Clock is from Breaksword, which comes later in the combo and is not that big a deal. Invoked to make Bardache is low key hilarious. This was like before they created all the new stuff. This was a long time ago. It was just when the support got announced, and PK was just also like new at the time. So, um, I was like, wouldn't it be funny if you could throw these together? So I tried, and it kind of works. But yeah, um, Doomsy is surprisingly competent. Like, I was trying to find the reason I went to Doomsy was I was trying to find a deck that can play without normal summon, like that has like cards that are not that committal. And I realized that Doomsy has that really strong spell because it pops and you can do stuff. And also Doomsy can use 2 4s. They can just put 2 dark 4s up because it's dark, very easily. It has the thing I hate the most about the Doomsday build is that the power pager for it banishes because all the power pages banish top 3. If you hit your one of, you're actually cooked. You're actually done. Like I hit Requiem so many times when I was testing the list that I just stopped testing it. I was so mad because I kept hitting Requiem, I kept hitting Umbrage Veil, Fogblade. Like there's not even wing in this list because this is just a test list that I was throwing stuff with. But I probably play wing in here over like the second boots or whatever. Um, it works. You can convert your Doomsday off of PK, technically, with 2 level 4s. It's fine. It works. You can make a pretty decent board. I might have I'll see if I have like a replay for it, but I would say this is clearly worse than the Orcust and the Toon one because of how firstly the banishing 3 is just not great, but also I feel like it doesn't help that much in the list. Like you do get more starters, but it feels more bricky a lot of the times. Like even though it shouldn't, because you have like more starters, but there's just weird ratios to deal with. And also the lines are messy and easy to hand trap. So, like one bell can just cook you sometimes if they time it really well. It's also, is it weaker to nib? I don't remember. It might be weaker to nib because you summon a lot of times before you get to PK. So, yeah. The extra is also insanely tight for this list. So, because pretty much everything there was needed. You can see there's no Shamanite because this is like way before Shamanite was announced. I probably put Shamanite in there now because it's such a good card, but I don't know what I'd cut. Probably the second Deactress. I don't even know if that was necessary. Yeah. What else was there? Radiant, right? Okay. Radiant. There's another screenshot on here. I can actually. Hold on. Radiant.
Yeah, if you want to just show it on Edo Pro later, you don't have to.
Yeah, sure, I'll do that. It was basically just I think I did it before Chant got limited to 1, but I was running 2 Chant, 2 Swen, 2 Eldam, and it was just 6 consistency cards because you get 2 3s off of it without normal summon. And the only issue was that this deck has like no spell trap negation. Oh, you want to go back to Flesh Engine was small. What made you stop from going to 50 and adding more Toon Searchers? Firstly, yeah, Droll is an issue. Droll was just the only like card that was killing me. Besides like Fua sometimes, because Fua is honestly not that bad once you have the Heavenly Dragon. But yeah, I didn't want to get Drolled, and also I do like the lower count of the deck. I was trying my very best to make it 40. I could not justify it. I do have higher count lists though. I think I have a 50 list. I have a 45. I have lower ones. That's just the one I took a screenshot of and put on there. You can definitely run. Yeah. I mentioned that. I think before you came, I mentioned that. Or maybe when did you come? I remember. Maybe I didn't say it. Yeah. There's bookmark, table contents, terraforming. Like, there's a bunch more. Yeah. There's other starters you could throw in. I think I mentioned you can throw in a bunch of other stuff just to have more ways to play without committing a body, which I find to be the most valuable thing in the list. So that's what that's what I like the most about Toons. Like, you just can do things, and they have to stop it, or you get your combo off anyway. So it also, I just don't like 50 lists as much as I like 40 lists nowadays. Yes, I did earlier. I talked about it earlier in Orcust, I think. I felt like in other variants besides like Pure and like, I feel like Radiant's very close to Pure because it's just the same engine, just a little more starters. But I feel like I don't like playing more than one of the trap of Fogblade sometimes. It's just too many bricks, but it's fine to play 2. I just personally couldn't justify it when I was trying to cut cards. I have lists with 2 Fogblade and 1 wing, 2 Fogblade, whatever. But in a smaller list, I would just cut the second one. It didn't come up that much, like, especially because Shamanite is so good for recursion. You just like banish the Fogblade, get it back, and you're fine. Like, yeah. And I also I didn't really find Fogblade's effect on board in like other variants coming up as much. Like, you can have it sometimes, but I genuinely, like in Orcust, I would just set Wing, and Wing would just protect Requiem, and I'd have like the Orcust engine to protect me. And it's just so good. I didn't even need a Fogblade. It's usually just going to Grave to get banished and be recursion. Yeah. Anyway, I was saying Radiant is just consistency pretty much. It's there's also like you can run Totem Bird and the Bamboozling Gossip Shadow for extra negates. Like, if you have engine, you can go summon Radiant stuff, make Totem Birds, or you have like a spell trap negate for like Fallen Virtuous. I don't know if I made more slides after this actually, but I wanted to also talk about the weaknesses. And there's one card that I'm very sad to be weak to, and it's Super Poly, my favorite. But it kind of insta kills the deck if, like, so the very funny thing about the deck is that, yeah, probably. Probably will. And I'm sad, but I'm also not that sad because it does help this deck. But I really just want the targets gone, man. The card's fun in like specific decks, but it's really dumb in this format. Like it's absurd. But yeah, so it cooks the deck because Mud Dragon makes everything untargetable on the board of that attribute. So you go Super Poly, make Mud Dragon with like Requiem and whatever Dark, whatever. And then you just go call Dark. Now I can't rank up my own cards before the main phase because all the rank ups target your own guys, and they all say during main phase. So it's not great. The thing is, the Orcust one is less weak to it, so that's nice because you have more things on the board, so and more interaction. So it's not as bad, but they are outing a bunch of stuff. The deck is also, oh god, the Gallant Thief, whatever that card is that's coming out, and Magic Mirror Force, whatever. Those cards are absurd. Honestly, the Thief isn't. I don't like the Thief at all, but he's not that hard to deal with sometimes because you have in Orcish at least like you still have a bunch of interaction and they have to like sacrifice stuff to get to him in some decks like I mean it depends on the deck if they're actually like giving up material to do that, but yeah. Breakers can be really annoying in this deck. That's the main reason why I think Orcust is so good. Like you just get, oh my god, you get so much like protection from breakers. Like you get the counter trap, you get the overlay into Girsu or Ding Girsu, like I said earlier with the trap engrave on Barge Veil. Like deck is so good. Yeah, weaknesses. Pure is weak to Fallen and the Virtuous. It's just really annoying, and that's why I don't like Pure, because I don't like losing to one Fallen and the Virtuous, which is so common. Super Poly, any one breaker, because you don't have spell negation at all. It's really annoying. But Orcust is really decent into breakers. Right now at least. So honestly, I think Orcust is. Honestly, Orcust you could consider like tier 3. I would probably put it there. Orcust PK. It has the power to beat higher tier decks. You could even put it higher if you really wanted to. I just don't know if it's that viable. But you can definitely take games off of, or take sets even off of like top tier decks if you play well and you know what you're doing. It also feels like very difficult to hand trap going first, because you can have a lot of engine. You won't take as much damage from hand traps. Yeah, Orcust feels the strongest out of all of these. There was also a Mitsu list. I didn't write it down on here. Yeah, Mitsu makes Bardache fine, and yeah, you can do stuff there. Yeah, I don't like the Mitsu one. Honestly. Also Horus. I have this really funny fat Orcust PK Horus, which I thought was really fun to play. It's like it's just the same, but it's a 60 list. It's the same thing, just more non-engine and then more starters with Horus, and that's the same. I don't think it's as good as the smaller one, but it's funny. So, yeah, that's all the lists that I could mainly show. Oh, I put a which is the best slide with nothing on it. Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. Let me show Edo. This is the RT list. Ignore Staingreaves being here again. That's probably have been Ragged Gloves. This is a really old list for testing. The ratios are all whack and stuff. Yeah, this is how the RT was played. This would obviously be at 1. There's a lot of PK things in here and a lot of deleted ones as well, but yeah.
Would I be able to ask some questions?
Yes, feel free.
Okay, so the first question I will ask is, I already asked you before you started the stream because
Oh yes,
because you were playing Luna Light before this.
Yes.
I'll put it into like a 2-part question. One, why do you prefer PK now versus Luna Light? Or my second question probably is the better question to start with. What is your just general assessment of the format and how PK interacts with the format? And then I guess why would you prefer PK over Lunalight given said format?
Okay, so let's start with. So okay, I was on a break from Yu-Gi-Oh because of what happened at a locals I went to. So I've played Lunalight for a long time now, um, and I went to locals after like I took a little break, and I came back to locals. I was like, okay, I'm gonna play Lunalight one more time. I'm gonna see how well it fares, and then decide if I want to play PK more or if I want to play Lunalight more. I got FDK'd, what, 2 sets in a row, and there was nothing I could do about it with Lunalight. Um, and the thing was, it felt so out of my control to play Lunalight in this format because it's such a random format. Like, the top decks are insanely powerful and horrible matchups for Lunalight. Like, what do you do when they get to see your whole hand and then just counter everything and have every answer for everything you have? Yeah, it's just not strong enough, right? And especially with the lower hand trap count, I just didn't feel like the deck was good enough. Um, PK, pure PK, I don't think is viable right now. It's just not. It's too bad. The matchups are just too difficult for it, especially with the amount of breaker decks like Striker and stuff, and then the amount of hand trap decks that also like you can't push through with pure PK, makes it just not good to play in this format, especially with like level manipulation with KT. Like you're just stuck. Like you face down a KT board with pure PK, you can't break it because you just don't have the pushes. They know what you have, and then they have the level manipulation to stop your normal combo. It's just really really difficult to play into those boards. But playing Orcust PK, you're good against breakers, you're good against hand traps. I feel like decks just aren't prepared for this type of play where you have like a lot of like strong engine, but also like all of it does things in the grave and you get like a lot of follow up, right? Because most decks are just maximizing like 20 starters, 20 non-engine, and then just running it with that. This list can play through those, and I feel like it's stronger than Lunalight for me for sure. And the out is not always like clear. Like whereas it's like if you make your full board, and your opponent's playing into it, the only card that like auto wins is like Super Poly. Like it doesn't even auto win because like you still have Orcust stuff if you're playing Orcust. But for Lunalight, like I would set up my stuff, like going first, double Liger, even that. I would just get like lava golem, sphere moted, whatever. Like people are citing those types of things, and the Lunalight's hand trap, the cards that are hand trapping Lunalight, are very common right now. Whereas the cards that hurt this deck are not, they don't hurt that much, honestly. The cards that are in the format right now, I feel like it doesn't have that bad of matchups with Orcust into the top, the higher level decks. It also feels unexpected, and no one's really ready to play against it. And I also feel like you can skill diff like people who are just not ready for it. If you know what you're doing with the deck. It's like the rogue factor, playing a lower tier deck. The non-engine is strong. Impulse being able to play Impulse is a huge part of the deck. Like, I think that's what elevates this one a lot, like over like something like Radiant Typhoon. Like Impulse is just crazy. Spark, if you choose to run it, is good. The only weakness is like Droll, Perulia, Fua, which are like those staple cards. But I really like that. The fact that KT is not playing Fua in main helps significantly. Also, you can play through Droll if you open good enough, like if you open PK stuff at least. Orcust, you won't really get the bridge that easily because you'll need to. Your searches won't go through, obviously. Let me think. Yeah, I feel like that's about it. Like Lunalight just didn't do it anymore. It was just not strong enough to play into the meta. The style of gameplay that I like to play with Lunalight just wasn't good enough. Yeah.
No, we're in the same boat, my friend. I don't enjoy playing the deck right now.
Yeah. Yup. Sounds about right. No, that requires much more precision. Yep. 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 And grab themselves, like your shit grindy, and with Shamanite, you also have the recursion. Exactly. I felt like the recursion of PK, because like even if people outed the board, I would just have enough cards like Effects Engrave, like a bunch of follow up. I kept grinding out games. Like I had a game against KT where they stopped like I had like 5 pushes. They stopped 4 of them. The 5th one was like a really small push, but I was able to like get like the Link 2 on board and like get the counter trap. And even if I got stopped a billion times, I still made something. Whereas in Lunalight, like I got stopped, all my cards are engraved. I'm like, oh, I just have to say here, I guess, and pass. And they of course are playing a deck that has a higher engine. Like they have 20 starters. Obviously they're drawing a starter. Even if they don't, they have 2 turns to draw a starter. So and if they don't draw a starter, they draw a hand trap. If I draw a starter, they stop. The recursion is just not there. Whereas like a deck like this that can grind so strong but also threaten so much going first is like exactly what I really want to play right now. Also, like I personally prefer this deck. This deck is so much fun. I've always loved PK. I just didn't think it was ever good because it really wasn't. It wasn't really viable ever, and it's so much fun to play this deck. Like I don't know what it is. It feels really nice to enjoy this deck. Yeah, it really is. Uh, yep.
Not that I'm gonna make you compare this deck
Mm-hmm.
to Hero, but I'm gonna make you compare this deck to Hero, or I guess Yubel, or
Rebel.
both. To be honest, because
Mm-hmm.
like we're on this server, and those are obviously
Yeah.
the main decks that most people play. But like, what would you say are the advantages of playing a deck like this versus a deck like Yubel or like Hero?
Um, Ubel is weak to the the style of gameplay that the best decks have right now. Okay, well, not the breaker ones. The breaker ones, Ubel is chilling. Like, actually, it's not chilling that well if they draw 3 breakers, but if they draw 2 or 1, um, bye. See you later. Um, if they draw 2 or 1 breakers, Ubel is chilling. Like, it can stop engines, it can stop non-engine, it's fine if you set up. But it's really weak to like a billion hand traps. Like, um, I made this. This is like the best version of Yubel, like when Toon comes out, that I would probably play, and it feels really good to play this. I still prefer PK over it because I don't know if this is strong enough still, like nowadays. Like the board is good. I don't know if it can push though. It just doesn't have the amount of pushing or grinding as PK does. Like PK just it overwhelms them by like they lose card advantage by forcing they forcing their interactions on your cards, which don't lose advantage because they do things in grave still. So yeah, I feel like this deck is honestly fine. I would rather play PK just for those reasons. Hero. Um, I've played against Hero a lot recently. Destiny Heroes is really cool. I'm waiting for that. I might pick that up and play that as well. That they really did good on that. Omni Hero is just not it right now. The gameplay, first of all, it doesn't feel that fun right now, to be honest. Yes, it does. It does. Um, anyway, I was saying Omni Hero doesn't feel as good right now. Uh, it doesn't eat hand traps as well as PK or Ubel does, because Ubel can like open a bunch of starters or open a phantom or open whatever and do things. But Hero just can't play through any of those. Hero feels rewarding when you actually pull it off, but pulling it off is way harder to do, and I don't know, it just doesn't make me feel like it doesn't make me enjoy the game when I'm playing it. Destiny Hero is really well designed. It feels like Sunny says, it feels streamlined. It feels powerful and engaging, and it has a lot of points of action. it doesn't feel like a bricky mess. Like the thing in Hero, like PK also has a lot of garnets, but the garnets are also pseudo extenders because you can get rid of them and do things with. Heroes, you draw Neo, so what you doing with that? Like you fuse it off, I guess, but I don't know. Like, there's a lot of garnets in Heroes that I could not like. It's too much variance. Like, there's a limit that I'm willing to go for. Yeah. I think that's about it for that. Oh, also non-engine's lacking in Hero. I'm gonna forget that. 60 card list. Invoked. I was throwing cards around in. Dimsy is a bigger list, I think. Yeah, this is the smaller one that I showed. Orcust. So this is the one I've been enjoying. Doesn't Hero feels good? Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? I can go through replays too, but I want to ask. I want to answer questions first.
Yeah,
Is there
I
anything
guess
else
generally, what are the pros of playing PK? And it,
compared to
regardless,
like?
yeah, just compared to whatever you want
Okay. Um. The deck. So I think the strengths of PK are that the board is good. Like, if you set up, the board is you're not losing that game if you know what you're doing and you don't sell. If you throw interactions around too fast, you might lose the game. But, um, the board is good. It's not that difficult to play through things because if you like know what you're doing, you can sequence things in a way that you end up with bodies regardless of what your opponent does, and you can always end on something. And even if you don't, you have a lot of non-engine as well to back up even half boards. Like if you had on like a couple interactions, like just Orcust stuff, they stop the PK stuff, whatever, you'll end on something. And the grind that you get and the amount of engine that you have lets you just keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing. And compared to like, I mean, I wouldn't say it's good enough. I wouldn't say it's better than like higher like the top five. It's not even close to those. Like those decks are just insanely powerful. But it can beat those decks because of the way it plays. Um, it's like a good anti-meta call, I would say, honestly. Um, compared to Nubel, like Nubel's like even yeah, exactly. I could you could even take this deck to like a bigger event. I would play this at a bigger event. Um, it feels like it can compete genuinely. Like, I mean, you can obviously get sacked because the bigger decks have the potential to do that to you. Yeah, exactly. Some people did top nats with it, I'm pretty sure, or they did like. That's where I got this FTK package, I think. This dumbass thing. This thing is also really dumb. This beats KT. But yeah, like, I feel like this list is good. It genuinely is strong, and it can beat a lot of things if you make the right medical. It feels like Lunalight did. That's like the deck I like to play personally. I never play the best deck in the room. I like playing something that's viable, but that's not the best deck, and it because it feels like I can master something that's like I make myself and understand myself. It's like that's what I've always done. Is like with Ubel, like I just crafted the list myself, and because I made the list, I know exactly what I'm doing at all times with it. Yes, exactly. This deck has so much depth that it interests me so much. Like hold on one sec. Okay. Um. Yeah. I really enjoy the style of, and I feel like it just yeah, like I said, it's good into certain metas. Like I said on the second slide as well, like it's not that good in specific formats. Like this one's not amazing. Like you get sacked so hard sometimes, and it's just really frustrating. IPK, what does it need? What does it need to help the deck? Okay, I was really hoping they'd give us like one more card, like an actual PK card, and for Pure needs Pure needs a little more engine, I think, to streamline it. Makes need to cut. If you can cut Ragged Gloves and put in like a starter, that would be really nice, man. Like something that banished itself to Foolish that also maybe does something in the hand. I don't know, or I don't know, something else that summons so you can push more. I don't know. Another push would be really strong for the deck. You could also have like an extra deck. I don't know. I'm already getting a Dark Rebellion retrain. What's that really low one? Phantom Knight. It's the Javelin one. Phantom Knight. Wow, as it caps. Phantom Knights. Cursed Javelin. I want to summon this, man. I mean, it's not really good, but like a retrain of this would be pretty nice. Real. Yeah, summoning this in Duel Links. My God, with 2 traps. Yeah. I want to summon this, or I want a retrain of this that you can make. Maybe would be really nice. Something that you can overlay onto another Phantom Knights, just Phantom Knights Xyz, like a mini rank up, but it just like does it automatically. Like you don't have to activate an effect, so you can push through things. I would be really fun, and preferably it should lock dark or something, so you can't like abuse it in other decks. But I think that would be really fun. That's fair too. That's fair too. Like spells would be really nice. Because there's you need a lot of body. You have to try and stick bodies for most of the other stuff, but spells would be really good support. I looked at all the spells and I really thought there were more. I really thought there were more. We literally have one. It's Spear. I mean, ignoring the rank ups, but just nothing. It does nothing. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Boots feel so underused because like all you get is a trap that you can discard, or a trap to set, or like I don't know what else you want to even get. You get the rank up spell, but you're already searching that off of Level and Scythe, so it really would be so nice to have a consistency spell that you can search. Maybe that does something. Like, why do we have Spear? Come on, man. A spell would be really good. Yeah, like I said, an automatic rank up, like just an Xyz monster, like a rank 2, like Javelin, that you can overlay onto like a random PK Xyz. So if you go Scythe, they stop it. You overlay that, then you can like do some extension there. Maybe it's just like a half board piece, like something to stop Fuwa, like to beat Fuwa. Like you get Fuwa, you give them 2 draws, you make something that I don't know gets you some interaction on their turn. That could be nice. Like I don't know. PK support. I really am really sad that they didn't give us anything. I was coping really. I was coping they'd give us at least a card. Because it feels like these 2 slots in the middle with Muckracker, they're empty. Something should have been there. Like I feel like they're missing something right there. It's just not finished. I don't know what they would need though. The spells would be good. Yeah, but that's wishful thinking. I don't think PK is getting more support anytime soon anyway.
Could you talk about the what? Hello?
Right, 200 rank 3/4 deck. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
What? Hello?
Sorry, this is Frost. It's Frost, of course. Any other questions? Or are we good?
Hello?
Yes. Hello.
Alright, I had to disconnect and then reconnect.
There you go.
I was gonna ask, in terms of the Heavenly Xyz,
Yes.
what is? She's my girl.
Carmel?
Yes. There's
I
0 point in running Carmel. Is that right?
I have never. I had it in here. I have never summoned it. Every time I've ever tested it, I have never needed Carmel because the theory is your opponent will have 1 card in hand. They'll activate something. Like they have 2 in left. They'll activate something. You go overlay. You make Carmel, and then Carmel gets the last card. It's never happened. I just start the rank up as soon as possible, and then I just make Ophion, and then protect Ophion, and then what do they do? Like, there's no point really. Yeah, I would probably make Carmel if Ophion was banned, So plays Manophion, and that would be way cooler. But I feel like, yeah, there's a lot of potential for what to break up into. There's got to be even more. Yeah, I don't know. I've never needed Carmel.
Yo, Sonny slandering her. Yo, I'm gonna fucking check you, Sonny. But no, fair enough.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the other thing is that if you wanted to if you wanted to make it fast so that they can't like fall into Virtuous, that doesn't matter because obviously you have to rank up in response to something, but also normal spell trap card. So that was like the main thing that was annoying to me. This deck feels really bad into quick plays. Super Poly obviously you can't do anything about anyway, but Fallen and Virtuous you need to protect. What else? Droplet is just strong. They started if they do stuff before maybe it's difficult to deal with. Or do things in response. Yeah. For me, I use launch because changing effect is good, especially yeah, that's fine. In PK Orcust I don't need launch at all. So I don't really need Carmel. Um, Carmel's fine. You could launch Carmel, that's fine. I mean, it's up to you what you want to do with Carmel. I just never found a reason to like summon it. Like you already have your Omni negate from like I didn't feel like I needed Carmel's negate that badly at least.
He summons Elfion and says, "Yo, I'm chilling." Nasty work.
Yep.
Nasty
Pretty
work.
much it. I don't like the gameplay with Ophion. It just feels really boring. But yeah.
Does the deck benefit from any other cards that haven't been released yet in the TCG, or is it mainly just like Heavenly and
Tunes and I don't remember honestly. I spent most of my time testing Orcust and playing Orcust and playing Toon and that. I don't remember any other. Oh, I remember when Shaman Knight came out. I just stopped looking at new things because I was like, this is the solution right here. This is solving the deck. I don't think there's anything new that's currently announced that interacts with PK in any significant way.
so he has replays? Send
Oh, I
them.
do. Yes.
Let's see them.
All right. I don't remember which ones I took. Decks. But we'll start with I think the best one, which is one card Gearsu. I feel like this is just so strong. So I'll let it play out. I'll stop it to like slowly to explain it. So we just go Gearsu, send Harp, Gearsu summon the token. I link the token off immediately. It doesn't really matter if you do that, but yeah. Harp for the second Gearsu. You overlay, you make Raider's Knight. Raider's Knight's going to get you into your PK engine because you're summoning Scythe. I like attaching the second Gearsu because now you have 2 engrave because on the next turn you're going to want to it'll get there anyway, but you'll need to banish one with Galatea to reborn it. So it doesn't really matter here. That's swap. Okay. Summoning from deck, we're getting to get Cloak searching, Ancient Cloak. And now we get this is with no discards in hand required because you're going to discard your PK card, which is why there's a lot of synergy here because you get 1 discard per engine, and both engines like having there's some cards in each engine that likes to be discarded. So, right, we discard Cloak, we get Babel. Cloak is going to get us to Boots. We go to Beanie, sending Torn Skills because we don't need to convert to our Orcust engine. We go Boots for Fogblade, and so what's it called? Torn Skills to come back. You're gonna send Solaret, Reborn Solaret, setting on Barrage Veil. Both of these are getting banished from leaves the field right now, so you don't want to link them off. So we're linking off the trap. We're going to send the ragged gloves and set wing. Wing is good protection. We want to keep. Right. You can also just send this directly, but I like having this because you can reborn it and get more follow-up. But Solid Ray goes to Grave. You use Solid Ray to rank these up, or level them up to level 4. And now you can make Rebellion. I didn't want to burn... You don't want to burn Breaksword too early. You now get to get back Ancient Cloak. Make Requiem. And now you have a negate for everything else. You can now use your Decay Cloak to make that into a level 3. And then overlay these two. You're now making Shamanite. Shamanite's getting you back your trap and reborning the banished. Yep. And from here, you got Galatea Eye. Or sorry, you link Galatea Eye off, make Galatea. You set the trap from deck. You get to reborn. And you make you put Babel up. You could have done this earlier. It's just insurance, I guess. I forget there was a reason. There was a reason I kept that in hand, but yeah. Now you have 4. You make the link 4. And you get a little bit of recursion, you get back the Gearsu. This is pretty much the board. It is insanely layered. So first of all, you have on the opponent's turn, and the Gearsu to steal. You have Bardiche to pop when you summon an Xyz here, which you can do off of Requiem, off of the traps, which are in. There's one in grave here, and there's one on field. So 2 reborns from grave on the opponent's turn. You have the steal, right? You also have the quick effect Xyz with Umbrage Veil over this to make Dingirsu to send. You have Crescendo to Omni Negate if you have a Link monster, which if you need to overlay this early, you can reborn the Galatea off of Babel very fast by banishing like either the Link 2 or another Gearsu grave. Yep. You have obviously Shamanite, so you're going to bring back Shamanite off of Requiem anywhere you want. If you want to pop, you summon it here, and then you trigger Bardiche. Or you can summon it here and go Shamanite to get the trap back after if you used Fogblade. You will also have a bunch of follow-up. You have 2 Searchers in Grave. You have Ancient Cloak and Boots. Boots actually has no targets in deck right now, which is really funny. But you can play more if you wanted to. Yeah, your graveyard is full of nice stuff. You can also, something I found that was very funny was for a different line, you can make SP here instead, banish the Requiem, and then on the opponent's turn, you summon back Leveling Scythe if they start breaking your board. Pop it with either your Buttershay or let them pop it, and then trigger Scythe to add back the Phantomknights card from Banishment to hand. So you can get extra recursion that way. It's pretty neat. There's no breaking this board realistically. Like, there's 3 monsters on board which are all good. There's 2 good set cards. Like Super Poly is strong here. Like you can out these 2. Then you still have things though, because you just you go effect to come back with Galatea Eye. You have Bardiche to pop with. You have a bunch of reborns. You have recursion. You have crescendo. You have wing to protect. You have a bunch of stuff here. You could also have done set Fogblade and banish wing instead. In order to get Fogblade's interaction. I just like Wing more because of protecting Requiem. It just feels stronger to me. Also, by having Wing on board, it goes to give immediately, whereas Fogblade you get the negate, but then it sits there and you don't get the reborn. So, you also have the follow up with Gearsu. You're also gonna banish other Gearsu and then shuffle it back, so you'll still have 1 in hand. And you will have 4 of the cards in hand. Yeah. That's the board, 1 card. You mostly don't want to go for more than this. It's having 2 cards in this deck, like 2 starters, means you're just gonna get more consistent ways to get to this, like through hand traps, because you'll just like summon Solaray, then normal Gearsu, or whatever you want to do. It's about the same, regardless of what you draw. If you draw Ancient Cloak or Decay Cloak with this, you get an extra body though, so that's nice. Free. Yeah. Your follow-up goes insane here. After like after they play through it. That's the deck. I can show other things. This is Haba PK. This was a long time ago. Let me see what else I've got. This is the Doomsday. I would have to check. Let me try this. I don't remember what this does. I will see if this line is good. Yep, standard stuff. This requires a discard. Right, so this is the bridge. You make the level 4s. You make Deactress. You then immediately overlay it into Graflario. Graflario gets to search. And then you use change. Pop Alara. Alara triggers. Sets the spell. Spell equips. Oh my god. Bro. See, I had to set up the, that we don't banish a one of. If you banish, well, you already have Requiem in this line. But if you start with Doomsday stuff, then it gets annoying. But you can also, like, you might hit a different one of, or more engine, and that's not something that you want to do. Yeah, so let's continue. Yeah, so you get that, you get the trap, some back stuff. You make the power pitcher thing. This was like, I was just testing theorizing this. I remember this. Medius, summons this. Yeah. Get the rank up. Yeah. So now an opponent's turn. This is also, by the way, this is without having Shaman Knight, so this line would probably be better. But you have a lot. They're getting trolled by destruction. They have to deal with Requiem. They have to deal with, what does this do again? Hello? Are we serious? Oh, they updated it, right? Yeah. This does things. Yeah, you're welcome.
Rossi be like, yo, this does things?
This does things. Rossi, wake up. Where is he? Not even here. Learning so much right now. Yeah, this is definitely useful tech that you're definitely using in the future, right? Yeah, so this is pretty funny. Funny combo, I like it. Yeah. Why did I take 500? Oh yeah, I was like, okay. I wonder if I had, I might have deleted it. I was testing, what's it called? Galaxy Eyes, what was it called? Phantom, fuck, I don't know what it was called. What was that Xyz? Yeah, Starly Photon Blast Dragon. Because I wanted Destruction Protection. And in Pure, you can do a line where you end on this. It's like a 2-card combo. You end on this with also the rest of the... You can do a line where you end on this with the rest of the... And I think that's neat. Yeah. I can also just... My Ito lags when I screen share it, but I can just... Hold on. Let's do a 1-card solid, right?
Are there any decks that you're looking forward to playing that isn't PK? Or in general?
What's it called? There was a deck I was looking at. It's all they announced those 3 new decks, right? And they announced
Senate?
I forget what it was called. Yeah, Senate is interesting. I don't know if I'd like it that much to the normal monsters and whatever. I don't know if it's my style. I'm looking forward to playing Yubel again, I guess. Because
wait,
you know, we can do this. Where's it? You got Fiendsmith, Unchained, Yubel. Like, this is normal stuff, but then you just have extra starters with Toons.
Sonny, flame him! Flame him, Sonny!
Flame me.
Flame him, Sonny!
Yeah. This would be fun to play. I find it really funny. People hate Moonlight more than Yubel. And I don't understand. I just
No,
don't.
that's kind of fair. I'm not gonna lie. At least you can. Well, you can hand trap both of them, but Yubel's slightly easier to hand trap.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. When I was doing my
To
master
be honest, we
duel,
wouldn't play 3 Phantom. We'd probably play. I don't even know if I'd played 2. I probably would play 2. I probably have to cut
I
Duke
was doing
though.
my master duel climb. Master 1 or Master 2 promo was versus
Yeah.
Yubel. I'm not gonna lie, I shit my pants. I was like,
Yeah.
no. He resolved Fu on me. I was like, no,
Oh
please
no.
get me out of here.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was like a 6-turn duel. I was like, oh, I can't do it. I can't deal with this deck. I hate it.
Yep, it is a curse. Yeah, you're kind of cooked. It can just sack you. I think that's pretty funny.
No, yeah, it's always sacked. It's always been a sacky deck. I just do not like that deck.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I'm mostly focused on PK right now. Um, I was trying to convince myself to play Yubel again, and then Shaman Knight got announced, and then I was like, I might have to lock in on this, you know. I was also testing this. I didn't like it that much. I tested chess stuff too. I didn't like that much. I
Is
was really hoping the chess stuff would be better, man.
is PK generally just a very affordable deck?
Uh yeah, it's not. Uh it depends how much you want to call affordable in modern Yu-Gi-Oh.
I'm just talking.
Um,
I'm just talking like the
the
cheapest.
the cheapest,
The
yeah,
cheap.
you get it for cheap, relatively cheap.
Okay.
The engine's not that expensive. I'm excluding non-engine because like non-engine varies on what you want to playing, but the core I wouldn't say is that expensive. I just haven't gone out of my way to buy everything right now. But I probably would. Um,
I guess.
especially because it's not that insanely popular right now. But yeah, it's in a good spot. Um, right, I was doing a line. Right. I'll just show one card Solar Ray. Solar Ray and Decay Cloak have almost identical lines, except Decay Cloak ends with like you don't get wing set, you have to banish it. So it's like slightly weaker, but it's the same.
Cook.
Let's see. I'll try and wing it on the fly. Ombrage to summon. Scythe. Scythe to summon. Okay. Let me remember everything. Okay. Cloak. Cloak effect.
Sunny,
Grab.
tell me if he's a fraud.
I'm a fraud, you caught me. I've never played this deck before. My first time.
True.
Right. Send. Symbol. Yeah, you caught me. You caught me. Oh my god! I actually made someone make the whole presentation. I'm actually not speaking right now. This is an AI. I'm just asleep. I'm forgetting my lines, man. Oh yeah. Link, Ricochet effect. We're gonna send Torn, and we're gonna set Swing, and then Fog Hand. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Search. Grab Fog. Torn. Send it back. Yeah, the, the aliens got me when I was getting milk. They caught me. Ragged. Doesn't matter what you reborn here, but go there first. Yeah, that seems right. I hope. It shouldn't matter. And then you can go Break Sword or Solar Ray. I think you go Break Sword first. Target, pop. Break Sword. Shouldn't matter the materials. You just don't want to bring this back. I'd rather keep those two engraved, so I'm gonna bring these two. Back to search. Get Requiem. Rank up. Rank up. Effect. Make this into a level. Dominate. Effect. Grabbing Fogblade. Effect. Symbol comes back. And now we've bridged into Altea. And then we link these. Then we go symbol to reborn. Altea. I'm forgetting something. No, this is right. Because you go... Yeah, you just get your crescendo here. You don't need to search with Gala Eye. Yeah, and then you have emergency opponent's turn. I think this is right. I might have forgotten... No, this is right. Because you don't need field for... Link 4... Yeah, this is right. So you have Wing, Crescendo. Oh, you can do even better, technically. You could, instead of making Break Sword, you go change those to 4s, make Dark Rebellion straight up, under Bardache pop Wing, so you get rid of Wing, and then you go Wing to and you can make the, what's it called? Link 4. The thing is, you still won't be able to search with Field Spell, like to get Field Spell, so it's not really worth it, so you would just end here. This board has 3 Dark Requiems, Bardache to pop, Wing to reborn and stuff, Crescendo. Yeah, Link 4 is just aura farming that Field Spell. And then you have Umbra's Veil to overlay onto Galatea. So it's a lot. It's a good amount of interaction. It'd be really nice. Someone was asked, I think Cosmo asked earlier about support. Having I know we said spell, but a monster that does like starter stuff, like it's like what's that the Destiny hero the Doom guy one. He has interaction on opponent's turn on a summon, and it's really nice. That card is so amazingly designed. If they had a PK like that, it would be amazing. Like you get to reborn it off Fogblade.
The Dogma?
No. The starter that you don't summon, it banishes the opponent's card.
Oh, a Doom Lord?
Yeah, Doom Lord. Having one of those, yeah, exactly. If you had that in a PK monster, a main deck, and you could just reborn it, the grind would be insane. Like, oh my god. On this board, that would be crazy because like they try and break it. You protect Requiem, you protect Requiem again. They eventually maybe push through some stuff. You get reborns to banishes or whatever. You get Shamanite to get back. You get crazy grind. It would be ridiculous. Like, my gosh. Or even like a spell could do that too. Like if it banished itself from grave when your opponent does something while you control a PK thing. Yeah, they don't. I really wish they did. It'd be more fun to grind with. Oh my gosh. Or even like an extender would be fine. Or a spell. A spell that did that where it interacted by banishing from grave would be cool. Yeah. So both these engines dark lock you. Symbol does, and this does too. But yeah, this is the basic PK board you're gonna make. If you open Decayed Cloak with it, you also get an extra body, so you get to make the Link 4. Obviously, if you have a discard, you can just Gala Eye, obviously, and get the field spell. Love cards like bonus effect from Goitek. Yeah. I like bonus effects on cards. Like that's what I liked about Fiendsmith Ubel. Like having Fiendsmith, the Fiendsmith engine as a whole was so amazingly designed. Like going first, and then Engraver's effect to send was so cool. I just love that. It was just really nice. Forcing interaction and pushing through is what I really love, and I feel like this deck does that too. Like Break Sword, just having an inbuilt, like obviously It's meant to go second in the first place, but it actually like retroactively because of Bardache got it going first effect because being popped helps it anyway. So it kind of fits that little niche. Yeah. Oh, you also when you overlay with Umbrage Veil, you obviously protect Requiem again. So you have 3 ways to protect Requiem. But also Requiem itself lets you get more bodies and swarm more. So it's nice. And going second, you know, you have this big guy right here. Yeah. That is about it. I think you can infer the rest of the combos yourselves. Like Muckracker, you just do the same thing except normal summon this, and then just normal lines really. Only thing I didn't like about the Pizza Engine, yeah, yeah. Moon was just too generic, and once they got rid of it, I just think it's in a good spot now. It's fine. And the normal summon hit trap Moon, yeah. It was really dumb. Like you would just like decks would start their gameplay with just no normal summon. You start hand trapping them. They stop. They normal like Ash, and then you're like, oh, GG's. It gets easier. That stops my entire deck. Like, oh well. It was just not fun. Yeah. That's about it. The worst is decks a lot of pushes with their own engine. Yeah, exactly. Like you can stop their engine properly, use all your cards effectively, and it doesn't matter because they would just have their normal into Moon. Any other questions about PK? Anything else to yap about?
PK Unchained, yo.
You can.
Is that
What
real?
what new cards lock you? I could actually look into that.
It's probably not real.
Yeah, you would obviously be a very small package, to be honest, but you could do something if you really wanted. You could. That's the beauty of this. Like, you could do anything you want with a dark deck into PK, because 3 darks equals Bardache. I mean, it won't be good with Unchained because of the lock, but you could probably do something like if you get a good hand and don't lock yourself. But it would obviously be like 2 cards or whatever, and the pop wouldn't synergize that well with PK. Besides the fact that you could pop your like set sword, missing Fogblade, or a wing. I guess that's something. But yeah, you can throw any dark deck into this. I had Mitsu stuff. The issue with Mitsu was, first of all, I don't like Mitsu. It's kind of boring, in my opinion. But also the actual issue was that you had to open Haba because Prayers was like slightly weaker because you needed the extra body. Because if you go Bardache, set Umbrage Veil, sending the Ancient Cloak, you could go Ancient Cloak, add Boots, go, what was it, summon Umbrage Veil, then go Ancient Cloak, add Boots. No, it wouldn't matter. And then you go Boots, and then you go 2/3s into Love and Scythe, summon these. You wouldn't even be able to go solo right here because it wouldn't help. But yeah, it's a really weird line. You'd probably go Torn Scales, and then Boots add Trap. Torn Scales send Solar Trap, Reborn Solar effect set, rank up. Cherubini there, I guess, or I don't even know what the line would be at that point. Maybe Shamanite, then Reborn, and then but then you won't have the effect. You would have to you can work at some line, but I don't think Mitsu as an engine like is small enough to impact the deck as a whole, because like Purification helps the deck, but you have to play like Purification in main, a bunch of the ritual bricks. You wouldn't have that strong of engine like synergy because there's not that many discards. You don't have any discards in Mitsu really. It's just that it's a strong engine on its own. You also probably can't convert to Mitsu because you need a level 3 starter in Mitsu to be able to foolish off of Beanie. Yeah. Any other engines? Yeah, any slop engine with dark can technically be in it, but most of them, I think the good thing is that most of them aren't that good because you need to like You need a deck that puts up 2 level 4 darks or 2 level 3 darks, and that's not as generic as you'd think because you'd need to still do things after that. So yeah. I think that's about it. I don't have much more to say. That was a while actually. Thought I had less to talk about. Okay. Yeah. Any final questions? Yeah, I'm gonna go eat probably.
Yeah.
Yep. Anytime. That was fun.
I'm going to be playing Moonlight and Scarlet Tiger and losing to the same hand traps. Let's go!
Yippee.
Yippee!
I love that. It's my favorite type of gameplay.
Gallon, what is it? The thief is gonna win the duels anyway, so I'd lose anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
Thief is a mistake. Oh, they keep making mistakes. Swear. Over and over.
Sunny playing Infernity, damn, depressing.
God.
Let's see, where are you at? Almost 2 hours.